Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Gayle Zientek, and I'm going to share with you some of my journey in the world of fitness and finance. Now, you probably listened to the introductory video leading up to this. And what were the questions I asked you? What are your emotions and how are you feeling around those words, fitness and finance? Is it frustration, guilt, anxiety? You have some regret? Is it overwhelming? Do you feel shame or like a failure? Are you nervous about hearing those words? I was there with you. And I'm going to share a little bit of that story with you today of how I went from the frustration, the guilt, the regret, the pain, the inflammation over to feeling accomplished and joyful, satisfied, confident, where it's become easy. I have success. I'm very calm and self-assured. I'm also very hopeful. I have a positive outlook and I've taken ownership of my life. And so I'm going to share these ideas with you today in the realm of fitness and finance in the hopes that you can take some of what I'm sharing with you along my journey, and maybe it'll inspire some possibilities that it's not too late for you, wherever you may be. You know, I'm 60 years of age and I got healthy in the last 3 years of my life. Our finances are finally at a point where we can breathe. And in the year of the pandemic, 2020, I'm recording this on December 1st, 2020. I closed my blinds. I'm at the lake. The sun is shining in and glistening off the lake. I am living my dream life this day. My husband's outside. If you hear the beep, beep, he's running a tractor. He's spreading stone in the driveway. He's building an addition. He's building a garage on our home. We're getting ready to go sail away in our motorhome Flow that we purchased this year because that was a dream, a goal that we set, an intention that we set years and years ago, probably decades. When we first got married 42 years ago, we dreamt of traveling in a motorhome. We had big ideals, big hopes, big dreams. And it's not until now that we've brought those dreams into fruition. But I'm here to tell you that it wasn't so long ago, 5 years ago. So when we were 55 and 58 years of age, respectively, we hired a financial advisor. Her name is Brooks. We just got off the phone with her and our accountant, Ed, figuring out financial end of the year things because you know what? That's important. It's important in today's world that you take control of your finances. And we were always guilty and shameful and nervous and overwhelmed that we didn't hire someone prior to 5 years ago. We made a lot of money. We spent everything we had. We raised 3 beautiful children who are now grown adults with children of their own. And, you know, when we look back, I wouldn't do anything differently. But if I had the choice, and if you hear something today, know that you're perfect in this moment because you've created this moment that you're in, but you don't have to stay there. See, I've always been happy. I've always been happy. Even when I was nearly 200 pounds, I was happy. Because I was a positive thinking woman, but that didn't make me less painful and less inflamed and kind of unhappy on the inside, right? Call that blissful dissatisfaction, where I was happy with where I am. I am happy with where I am right now, having this conversation with you. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm also understanding that I am not where I want to be in the perfect best version of myself. I'm always growing. See, we don't peak in life. Don't say, when I get here, I'm going to be happy. When I climb this mountain, I'm going to be happy. When I get that job, or I have that much in my savings account, or I take that trip, that's when I'm going to be happy. No, I want you to learn to be happy where you are right now, but always looking forward and putting yourself in a position to be around the people that are going to help you move into the direction up the mountain. Because really, it's a mountain climb. It's a mountain climb. We go up. When we get to the summit, we have a saying in this little group I hang out with, the Promise Keeper community. It's like, party at the summit. Because when you hit the summit, we're going to party like we're rock stars, and then we're going to choose the next journey, the next hike, the next trail, and we're going to take that as well. So let me kind of go back and share with you about fitness and finance. You see, when I was 57 years of age, it was December. I was coming up on my 58th year of life in April of the following year, and I was sore. I was tired. I hurt. I didn't have energy. I was sad a lot because of how I felt with my body and my image. And so I knew that I knew what I needed to do, but I just wasn't willing to do it on a consistent basis. So what did I do? I hired someone to help me. Dr. Stephen Osterhout is in our networking group, and he would talk about weight loss, and he had a program at his clinic. So I hired Vitality Healthcare, and I went in and I spent that $1,500, laid it down in my credit card and said, help me feel better. So that was January of 2018. And so I learned how to eat correctly. I learned how to eat, how to eliminate the sugar, the dairy, the alcohol, the caffeine. Yes, I know you're going, oh man, if I got to do that, skip it. But here's the thing. My body was inflamed. I had a shoulder that I couldn't even hardly lift. I had gone to a physical therapist. She'd work me over. Vihangi was awesome. She'd work me over, but the inflammation wasn't going away. I knew what I needed to do. I knew I needed to eliminate some things from my diet. So that's where I began. I began the nutritional side of things. And for, gosh, about a year and a half, so in 6 months, I was on the program at Vitality. I'd lost about 25 to 30 pounds. But after I got off the program, what happens? What happens when you get off a program? You kind of start to creep back up again. The weight started to come back on. And I knew that there was more. And I had a friend, her name is Wendy Braden. And Wendy and I had been talking. We started talking about in January of 2019. And she said, Gayle, this is what I've done. See, I watched Wendy. I watched Wendy go from her highest weight down to a melting popsicle. And the weight was coming off. And how she did it was through Whole30, through her diet regimen. And so I said, sign me up, Wendy. Teach me how to eat. Teach me how to nourish my body in a way that's going to be sustainable so that I can move forward in this life. And so it was July 1st of 2019. I met after meeting with Wendy, and she gave me a homework assignment. And she said, okay, you have to create a declaration of what your life looks like. Gayle, sit down, write it out, and then begin to live it. And so I did. I sat down. I wrote this out on July 1st, 2019. It says, I am thankful for the inspiration of friends who choose to live a healthy life, especially for my friend Wendy B, for being an example and caring for me. At the top, I wrote 4 words: decide, detox, design, and declare. This is my declaration, stated July 1st, 2019. Today, I decide to make choices that serve my vision of health. Today, I detox my body. Today, I design what my life looks like 59 onward. Today, I declare exceptional health. Today marks the first day of the rest of my life. July 1st, 2019, transparency. Saying good riddance to the foods that don't serve me makes me nervous. Can I do it? As I write this, tears are forming in my eyes. My emotions are high. Eating correctly seems to go against everything this world represents. It reminds me of my spiritual journey. Sometimes I feel alone. My eyes are open for a purpose. I am a warrior. I am strong and focused on making a difference first with myself. My health is my greatest wealth. My mind is my body's guard. I keep my mind sharp and on guard at every moment. My thoughts protect me. My willpower is strong and impenetrable. My vision of health serves me. My slender body is filled with energy. I am flexible and vibrant. My endurance is strong. I enjoy long walks on the beach, hiking mountain trails, and playing with friends and family. I am living my purpose. My mind has clarity. I inspire possibility. Now, when I wrote this, if we want to look at, scales, I was weighing about 156, 157 pounds when I wrote that on July 1st. And today I tipped the scales at about 131 pounds. So how did I get from that vision of that slender body, which I now enjoy living in on a daily basis, and respect wholly my body? I respect this temple that I've been given, and I nourish it well. I exercise well. And let's get into that in a minute. Because see, I wasn't one that would get up and move my body. No, I can do all of this through nutrition. Well, I did a pretty good job of doing that through nutrition. And here's the next part of the journey. So I lived my life Whole30, eliminating dairy, sugar, alcohol, grains, and legumes. I still don't, I do drink coffee. So caffeine is, I did a detox of caffeine when I needed to back then, but now I drink my coffee and water. I drink about 120 ounces of water every single day, along with some coffee and maybe tea in the evening. But I didn't move my body. And so it was January of 2020, this year. This has been a pivotal year for me. And I want to share that with you right now. So in January 20th, I met Steve Trzek. You hear me if you know anything about me. I love Coach Steve Trzek, mind and body architect. Steve and I met through another Facebook group that I belong to for real estate agents. But then he signed up for send out cards. And most of you know me from send out cards. We'll talk about that when we get over to the finance part. And so Steve signed up for send out cards, and I reached out and said hello. And that created and started a conversation, a relationship. And so in 2020, Steve had a webinar. I joined his webinar. I learned a little bit about nutrition from Steve, mindset, goals. And he invited me to join a group, his group that he had on Facebook. Everybody deserves to feel fantastic. And it was by invitation only, because it was only for people who really were making a commitment to better health and wellness. Well, I got into the group and I saw that everybody's working out at the gym, and like, I don't do gym stuff. I just don't, but I was in there and contributed to my journey of nutrition. And then meanwhile, Wendy and I are planning this amazing retreat. We created a retreat this year that we hosted in Isle of Palm, South Carolina. It was the whole vision retreat, Whole30, whole vision, whole life, whole you. We invited some ladies. We rented this mansion at the beach. I have a picture. This is where we were. That's Wendy and I at the house that we stayed at on the beach. There's a picture of the house from the beach looking back. It was whole vision, whole life, whole health, whole you. And we shopped, we cooked Whole30 for the ladies. This is pictures. So you can see we did yoga in the morning. The sunsets and sunrises were amazing. Imagine having coffee out there with that view. We did crafts, we did walks, we cooked, we did vision boarding. There's Wendy and I. We had a fantastic time at this retreat. But I remember being at this retreat, and it was about, whole vision. Look, I even created a vision board. This is my vision board for this year. All of that. Look at what I put in the middle. Do you see that? You see that? See those abs and those weights and those barbells? I created this vision board in February of this year when I didn't go to the gym. I didn't work out. I didn't even have a clue or even an inkling or a desire to be working out. But this was my vision board. And when I look at it now and look at everything that, here's the motorhome, talk about that too. Original road trip, we had one of those this year in COVID. But I created this vision at the Isle of Palms retreat in South Carolina with my friend Wendy. And it was, I remember sitting after one of the sessions and I said, well, you know, what if you have a poor body image? What if you don't like the way you look? And that was me. I had a negative image for myself that I knew I needed to overcome. And this vision board was the beginning of that, is the help of that. And so I created that vision. I came home. My mother-in-law, Frances Zientek, passed away on March 8th. March 20th was my daughter Andrea's 40th birthday. And that was the last day we saw our family and were hugs because COVID was in force at that time. And we were all sequestered in our homes. So now I'm at home. What am I going to do at home with, you know, COVID strike? Well, on March 23rd, my friend, Coach Steve, saw that the gyms were closed. And so he implemented, he decided to do, start a 30-minute, you call it, body weight workout right from our own homes on Zoom. I showed up that day and I knew about 5 exercises, but I did them to the best of my ability. So let's fast forward from March 23rd to December 1st. About, what is that? About 9 months. 9 months have passed. And from that day to today, I am now 225 days in a row of moving my body 60 to 90 minutes a day. During the summer, we're still home. We're still under COVID. So we didn't do a whole lot, but I got out and I did a lot of movement. I walked around the lake a lot, took long walks around the lake, did 30-minute you call it, 5 to 7 days a week. And I made a transformation from the inside out in my body. You know, we all had to go in. What happened to you during COVID? What happened to you when the state you're in was shut down and you know, the emotional impact that had? Did you find food as your comfort? What did you find to do? Did you put on the quarantine 15 or did you get in shape? I got in shape and I'm never going to go back to the person that I was before. And here's why. I found a great environment to be in. Coach Steve, after a few weeks of that, had decided to implement the Promise Keeper community, the 90-day sprint. I signed up basically because I wanted to help Steve. It's like, I don't really need this, you know, this isn't something that I really need to have. But what I didn't know was that this Promise Keeper community was going to be the thing that created the sustainability in me to keep going, because here's what it taught me. It taught me how to keep promises to myself. You know, you're one small commitment away from unlocking your life. Think about that. Steve asked me, I remember him asking me, how much water do you drink, Gayle? I said, oh, I know how much I should drink, but maybe about 32 ounces. He said, can you do 64 a day? I'm like, I guess if I focus on it. So I started out making 2 small commitments to myself back April 24th on that original road trip where Steve and I had to take off out of Kalamazoo and drive out to Las Vegas. My stepmom passed away. She was in hospice. We were gone for 30 days from April 5th to May 9th, a little over 30 days. But while we were gone, we made some changes. We created some habits. Steve Zientek started the 90-day sprint on April 24th. So while I was in California, I remember getting my measurement. I said, Steve, take pictures of me. So we had pictures taken and of where I was then to where I am now. But I learned that by keeping those small commitments to myself, I'm going to work out 30 minutes a day. I'm going to drink 64 ounces of water. And soon that turned into 96 ounces of water, and it turned into 128 ounces of water. And today, still, I'm drinking between 100 and 120 ounces of water every day because I know that what it does for my body. I'm also going to the gym. that poster picture with those abs, yep, I'm working on it. Don't know when that'll happen, but I know that it's part because you see, we all have limiting beliefs of what we're capable of until we do it, until we step out in faith, we step into the circle and we get moving. That's what it means. That's what it means to me. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about that, to let you know that where you are today is not where you're going to be tomorrow. If you can be a little bit better tomorrow and a little bit better the next day and then the next day and the next day, and the compound effect that you'll have by putting in the efforts will reward you greatly. The art of keeping and making promises to yourself. It changed my life. It created habits, routines, rituals, and rules for my life. I have 10 rules for my life that I live by. Find the greatness in everyone. Smile and make eye contact with the people that I see when I'm out and about. 90% Whole 30. Acting on my promptings every single day. Being kind, courteous. Those are some of the rules I've implemented in my life, and it's made a difference in who I am today. I am the happiest, healthiest version of myself as I stand right now. So, what are you doing in your fitness journey? What are you doing in your life that is helping you to become stronger? You know, the limiting beliefs. It was Thanksgiving. My granddaughter Kendall's 7 years young, and she says, let's do headstands. And I tried a headstand. I said, sure, I'm up for it. Let's try it. I could get my knees up on my arms. She said, just do the teddy bear, Grandma. So I got my knees up, and I could not get my legs off my elbows. I thought, oh, I just don't have the core strength for that. So then my friend Amy Izzo and I were having a conversation last Sunday, and we were on this Zoom conversation, and she says, I saw you doing that. And she says, is there anything that woman can't do? She goes, Gayle, I was kind of glad we weren't able to do that. And we laughed about that. I said, but what did that do for me? It's like, I haven't tried it since then. Let me go try and see if I can do a headstand. And you know what? I went in and I did it. I held it for about 12. I pulled my legs up off my arms. I had no idea I could do that. Today, this morning, I did over a 1 minute headstand. I sent a little video to my granddaughter, Kendall. I said, Kendall, look what Grandma was able to do. And her video back to me was, that was great, Grandma. Now do a handstand. I'm like, a handstand. Now my friend Josh Geddick says, yeah, Gayle, you're going to be able to do one of those handstand push-ups. So here's my point to that. We have capabilities within us if we get rid of the limiting beliefs of, well, I can't do that. I'm 60 years old. How can I can go to the gym? I can't eat right. I can't do this. I'm 60 years old, young, however you want to say it. But yes, you can. It's never too late to start. It's never too late. If I can do this at 60, certainly you can do it. It doesn't matter your age. Maybe it's getting out and walking for 15 minutes. Maybe it's just standing in your house. You know what? Here's what I found, because it was snowing one day and I'm like, how am I going to get in my 60 minutes of movement? I am not going out in the blizzard. I'd already done my You Call It. And then someone had suggested a walking video on YouTube. And guess what? I walked for 30 minutes in my house. There's no excuse. If you have a body, if you can stand up, you can get moving. And I encourage you to do that. All right. So that's my fitness journey over the last few years. And I'm excited where I'm going, man. I can't wait to be doing some handstand push-ups. Yeah, you just watch. Might take me a while, but now that it's in my mind, now that I know I can do a headstand for a minute after not being able to do one 5 days ago, I'm on it. Finances. How are you doing with your finances? You know, I mentioned to you that we were at the age of 55. I reached out to Brooks over the weekend. I said, how long have we been coming to you? And she said, about 5 years. And so when you think about that, we started our financial planning at 55. Now, my daughter and her husband, they also go to Brooks. They're not 55. Just think about that. They're 40. They just turned 40 this year. So think about the step ahead they have over the next 20 years to be a much better place than we are. So see where we are, where Steve and I are in our physical. Now my husband, he's lost 70 pounds. He's released 70 pounds this year because he's eating right. He's moving his body. He's building this freaking awesome addition out here in this garage. And he's caring for himself. He's caring for himself. So where we are is not necessarily, we might be 5 chapters behind where you are and you're going, yeah, right, Gayle, I've been there, done that. That's great. But I know there's some of you out there that are wishing you were at this chapter in life. So I'm going to share my chapters where we're at right now so that it can inspire the possibilities of where you might want to be, even if you think it's too late. So we met with Brooks. We started putting money, we pay first. Now there's a book called Profit First, and I recommend it. I've read it. I've skimmed through the book. I like the principles of the book. I know it's helped a lot of people in their financial field. So Profit First, if you're looking for a book to read, is a great resource for you. We always worked hard, spent everything we had. Back in the day, I was a licensed childcare provider for 25 years in our home. My husband worked as a sign mechanic, fabricator. Then he worked as a maintenance mechanic at a local bakery until all our kids were grown and gone. It was 2004. I got my real estate license here in Michigan and had a pretty successful year. So I encouraged Steve to get his license because, working nights at the bakery was just not something he wanted to do forever. And so he got his license. So 2004, 2006, the recession hit in 2008. We found send out cards in 2007. And send out cards is, it's a relationship building business that we used in our real estate business to connect with people. So between 2008 and 2011, we went from a 35% referral business in real estate to 100% referral business. And we've been able to maintain that through here. We will close 29 transactions in real estate this year. And Send Out Cards has continued to grow. We joined as affiliates way back in the day, 13 and a half years ago. And we've expanded through different continents and throughout all the United States. So we built a foundation for multiple streams of income. And that's what I want to talk to you about with finance. In today's world, it's important. No job is promised. I think especially going through COVID, many of you have realized that your job, it may not be as secure as you thought it was. So here's what we've been able to do over time. We've been able to create a sustainable income through our real estate business. We've actually got about 6 streams of income working for us right now. So I don't know if you've thought about multiple streams of income. I know it's talked about a lot. What's your side hustle? What do you do over there? I want you to think about that, because I think there's real opportunity for you even if you want to make an extra $500 a month over here doing this. Maybe that'd be a great opportunity to save for a vacation. Make $500 a month over here doing this. And I was taught one time to find your chain, to pick your lane, find your chain and pick your lane. And so, see, I am who I am through what I've learned through my growth in business. And so, real estate, made an income selling homes. Then I became a broker. And then we opened up our own real estate office. So we were able to create income from other agents that wanted to come work for us. Most recently, 2 years ago, we decided, looking 5 years into the future, that we wanted to be traveling and being gone, and we didn't want the responsibility of owning our own brokerage. So we joined eXp Realty in 2018 in the fall. So we just passed our second year of being with eXp Realty. Very happy with how our transactions flow, how everything goes. We've attracted agents from different parts of the country that are out doing their thing and growing their real estate business. And if you ever want to talk about the eXp model of real estate, I'm open, happy to have that conversation with you. So we have our real estate sales. We have the revenue share from eXp. We've also had the profit sharing. So the stock options that we have. And I don't know if you've been following eXp stock, but over the last 2 years, what we've invested, taking 5% of our commissions and putting it towards purchasing stock, has been a very good thing. So we have that sitting over that. We don't even think about it. It's a little nest egg, but it's another basket, right? We have our send out cards income. Now, our send out cards income sustained us through COVID. When we were mandated to not work, not go out and show homes, not be in homes, not cease and desist from working, our send out cards income kept coming in, and it paid the important bills to keep us afloat during this COVID crisis. Really thankful for that. We had an investment that we made 4 years ago that paid out this year, which has allowed us to go pay cash for a motorhome. We're getting ready to go in Flow. We named her Flow, Freedom, Love, and Opportunity. And her full name is Flora, Flora, Freedom, Love, Opportunity. And she is a reflection of our affirmation. She is a reflection of something Steve and I thought about 20, 30 years ago, and we're enjoying today. So that paid out this year. That was another stream of income. Coaching, referrals for a living. I was inspired a couple years ago to create a little side business coaching, because people would always ask me about, coaching. I created some continuing education for real estate. So credits for real estate. I coach and teach in Michigan. You can actually get credits for webinars that I create and deliver. I do private group coaching with people who want to learn how to build relationships and implement send out cards. And I teach the 3 S's of success: your smartphone, snail mail, and social media. So those are things. That was another form of income that came in. I'm looking at my list. So real estate, send out cards, the revenue share. Oh, becoming a mentor. This year we earned money. Steve and I both earned money by being mentors with eXp and helping new agents get started. Yep, our investment paid out, and referrals for a living. Now, along with send out cards, our founder and CEO, Chief Visionary Officer, Cody Bateman, announced recently that a better way is coming. And so if you're hearing this today and you're curious about it, see, Cody has created something. So besides send out cards, there's going to be 5 additional streams of income that the affiliates can be making in the new year, launching January 2021. And so Steve and I are super excited. It might not be for everybody, but I'm just going to plant this seed in your ear that if you're looking for different streams of income, perhaps maybe out of those 6 streams, including send out cards, maybe there's 2 or 3 or even 4 in there that you would be proud to build as a business, to earn that extra 500 to 1,000 to 10,000, to really unlimited amount of money that you need to make, you desire to make on a monthly basis. Do you have your taxes on time? Do you pay your P&L? So just this afternoon, we had our financial advisor and our tax consultant, our CPA on a Zoom call. It's important that you focus on the things that are important in life. Your financial status and stature is important. You should pay attention to it. Pay your taxes on time. If you're a self-employed person like Steve and I are, most realtors don't. I don't know what the statistics are. Maybe 90% of realtors do not pay their taxes on time. If that's you, let's have a conversation. It took us a while to get there. Years and years and years. We paid our taxes in October for the previous year. Right now, I know what I owe going into the 4th quarter of this year. We made a little bit more money this year than what we had anticipated or what we had planned for based on last year. That's a good thing, by the way. That's a really great thing. And so by doing that, now we're ready. We're poised to pay ahead, to pay into our retirement fund. Because see, the people that are smarter than us are advising us what to do. Hang around with people whose financial thermostat is where you want to be. So it is said that we are the sum of the people we hang around. I'm going to talk just for a second as I close on your environment. Find people that you want to be like, that you want to have what they have. If they have what you want, hang around them, ask questions, learn what they did. How did they get there? What were the steps that they took? I'm sure that they would be able to have that conversation. They would be delighted to have that conversation with you. Have a positive attitude. Where do you want to be in 5 years or 10 years from now? Start today. In your health, in your finance, where do you want to be? Write it down. Create a vision board. Picture it in your mind. Design it. Define it. Who do you want to be? Where do you want to vacation? What kind of car do you want to drive? Do you want to travel? Do you want to see the country in an RV? We can meet you somewhere in the South. All right. What does financial freedom mean to you? Financial freedom to Steve and I means that we can be on the road, that we can be traveling down the road in flow. We can be operating our businesses. The money's being deposited in the bank account. And we can earn money wherever we are. We can do what we want to do, when we want to do it, with whom we want to do it with. That to us is freedom. And to have the finances to be able to do that, it's a possibility. Let me inspire that possibility in you today. If you want to connect with me, I'm going to have that link for you to book a call, bookgayle.com. Just go to bookgayle.com, Gayle, bookgayle, Gayle.com, and have access to my calendar. Let's book a 30-minute call. Ask me the questions that are hot on your mind that will help you get to where you want to go, because I desire to have that conversation with you. It's been a pleasure to share a little bit of my journey with you today. I hope that you've taken 1, 2, maybe 3 things that you can think about and implement in your life. You deserve to live the happiest, healthiest, best version of yourself to your potential. not my potential, not Steve Trzek's potential, not anybody else's potential, but your potential. Find the happiness within inside you. Happiness is an inside game. It starts inside and it grows to the outside. And I want more than anything for you to live a life of happiness, joy, sustainability, and comfort. Gayle Zientek, I'm out.